Hello everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today, we're following Jack, Tu Tien, and little Anna as their quiet home suddenly turns tense because Tu Tien receives a chilling, anonymous warning, then realizes someone is following her on foot. What happens when Jack rushes home and an even more terrifying message appears on his phone? If you enjoy emotional, dramatic stories like this, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next video. The house is quiet in that late-night way where every small sound feels louder than it should. Jack is still up at the table, glasses on, going through project files for Min Hung. He's trying to act like numbers and schedules can be controlled if he stares at them long enough. But his mind keeps circling the same questions. How to replace workers who quit, how to rebuild trust after the warehouse fire, how to keep this contract from slipping away. Behind him, the bedroom door is cracked. Tu Tien is asleep with Anna tucked against her chest. Anna is 15 months old, 2 tiny braids on each side of her head, one hand curled around her mother's sweater. Seeing them like that is the only thing that slows Jack's heartbeat. Then his phone vibrates. Officer Thu. Jack answers softly. Officer Thu. Her voice is calm but urgent. We narrowed the arson case down to 2 suspects. Names, photos, a possible route. They're trying to leave town before sunrise. Jack sits up straighter. So you're close. Close, she repeats, not finished. And I'm warning you, don't confront anyone. Don't go looking. If you notice anything strange, call me immediately. I will, he says, and means it. Officer Thu adds, we also have a witness, someone who saw movement near your site that night. We're trying to relocate him somewhere safe. Keep your phone near you. The call ends. Jack stares at the screen, then looks toward the bedroom. He wants to wake Tu Tien and tell her everything. He also wants her to have one more night without fear. He shuts the files, turns off the light, and finally lies down. Less than an hour later, Tu Tien's phone buzzes. She wakes slowly, careful not to startle Anna. An unknown number, one message. If you want Jack to be safe, don't get involved in the investigation. Tu Tien's stomach drops. She rereads it. The words don't explain themselves. They just sit there like a threat. She turns her head toward Jack. He's asleep, face tired even in rest. She thinks of how hard he's been pushing and how fragile everything feels. Her first instinct is to wake him. Her second instinct is stronger. Don't add another weight to his chest tonight. Tu Tien locks the phone and sets it face down. Anna stirs. Tu Tien strokes her hair and whispers, "It's okay, baby. Me is here." But Tu Tien doesn't sleep again. Morning comes cold and grey. Jack leaves early, driving the car to the company, rushing into meetings. He promises he'll be home by dinner. He kisses Anna's forehead and tells Tu Tien, "Call me if you need anything." Tu Tien nods, smiling like she's fine. She doesn't tell him about the message. All day, Anna stays with her, as always. Tu Tien cooks, tidies, checks the gate, and tries not to glance at her phone too often. No new messages come. By late morning, she needs a few things for Anna: fruit, milk, something warm. It's a short walk to the small shop near the lane. When Jack isn't home, Tu Tien goes on foot. She hesitates at the door, then tells herself she's being paranoid. She puts Anna in a jacket, fixes the 2 little braids, locks the house, and holds Anna's hand as they walk. At the shop, the owner smiles and hands Anna a small piece of banana. Tu Tien pays quickly and steps back outside. And that's when she feels it. Across the street, a man stands near a parked motorbike, pretending to look at his phone. Nothing obvious. But when Tu Tien shifts, he shifts too, just enough to keep her in view. Tu Tien's throat goes dry. The message flashes in her mind like a warning light. She forces her face to stay calm. She crouches by Anna and smiles. "We're going home now," she says lightly. Tu Tien walks back at a steady pace, not fast enough to look scared. Halfway down the lane, she glances back once. The man is there, farther behind, but still following. Tu Tien's pulse turns loud. She squeezes Anna's hand gently and keeps her steps even. When their gate comes into view, relief hits her so hard she almost loses her breath. She opens it quickly, guides Anna inside, and shuts it behind them. The lock clicks. Tu Tien stands still listening. Footsteps pass outside, a brief pause, then silence. She picks Anna up and holds her close. "Inside," she whispers. "We're inside." Tu Tien sets Anna on the mat with toys and grabs her phone. She calls Jack. He answers fast. "Tu, what's wrong?" Her voice shakes despite her effort. "Jack, someone followed me. And last night I got a message from an unknown number. They told me not to get involved with the investigation." There's a sharp inhale on the other end. Jack's tone changes instantly. "Are you and Anna safe right now?" "We're inside, door locked." "Good," he says, clipped and controlled. "Stay inside. Don't open for anyone. I'm leaving now. I'll drive home." "Jack, be careful," she whispers. "I will," he says. "I'm getting in the car." The call ends. Tu Tien stands there with her phone in her hand, realizing she crossed the line she was trying to avoid. She pulled Jack out of work. She pulled him into this. Minutes stretch. Every sound makes Tu Tien flinch. A dog barking, a motorbike passing, a neighbor's gate creaking. Then Jack calls again. "You're close," Tu Tien asks, relief spilling out. "I'm on the main road," Jack says, road noise loud behind him. "Almost there." Tu Tien exhales until she hears the shift in his tone. Officer Thu just called me again." Tu Tien's stomach tightens. "What happened?" Jack swallows. "The witness she mentioned? The one they were relocating?" "Yes." "He's gone," Jack says. "He disappeared." Tu Tien looks at Anna on the mat. Tiny hands busy, safe for now. And she understands something cold and clear. That message wasn't advice. It was a countdown. Jack's car turns off the main road and into the quiet lane that leads to their house. The countryside looks normal. Fields, trees, a pale winter sky. But his body doesn't feel normal at all. His hands stay tight on the steering wheel, and his mind keeps replaying the last thing Officer Thu said. A key witness has gone missing. Not can't be reached. Not changed their mind. Missing. Jack slows near the bend where the road narrows. He checks the sides of the path, the empty ditches, the scattered footprints in soft dirt. He hates that he's thinking like this now, like danger is a weather forecast. But after everything they've been through, he doesn't get to pretend. At home, Tu Tien is doing the same thing in her own way. She's acting normal on purpose. Anna is awake, sitting on a mat near the doorway, her two little braids slightly messy from napping. She's busy trying to put a plastic cup on top of a stuffed toy, like a helmet. Every time it falls off, she giggles and tries again like it's the most important job in the world. Tu Tien lets herself smile at that, but her ears stay tuned to the outside. She keeps the curtains angled so she can see the gate without standing directly in the window. She pours Anna warm water, breaks a snack into small pieces, and talks softly so her voice sounds steady. Slowly, she tells Anna, even though she's really telling her own heart. Then she hears it, an engine in the yard. Tu Tien's breath catches. She lifts Anna without rushing, walks back from the window, and waits until she hears the car stop. A second later, Jack's footsteps hit the porch. She unlocks the door, opens it just enough, and the moment he slips inside, she locks it again behind him, fast and quiet. Jack's first move isn't to ask questions. He scoops Anna up like he needs proof she's right here. Anna wraps her little arms around his neck and presses her cheek against his shoulder, already calmer just from being held. Then Jack looks at Tu Tien's face. "You're pale," he says. "I'm fine," she answers automatically. Jack doesn't argue with the word. He just takes her hand, squeezes once, and lowers his voice. "Tell me everything."
"Start from the beginning." Tu Tien swallows and forces herself to speak, like she's reading a list. The anonymous text, the warning, the way she tried to ignore it. Then today, the walk to the small shop, the feeling of being watched, the man who kept matching her pace, the way she turned back without making it obvious, the way she came home and locked the door and called him. Jack listens without interrupting, but with every detail something hard builds behind his eyes. "Did he say anything?" Jack asks. "No." "Did you recognize him?" "No." Jack nods slowly. "You did the right thing. You didn't run. You didn't go farther. You came home." Tu Tien's voice shakes. "I didn't want to pull you away from work." Jack's jaw flexes. Work is pressure. This is us." Anna shifts in his arms and makes a small sound, reaching for Tu Tien now. Tu Tien steps closer, smoothing Anna's braids, and for 1 second the room feels like it's holding its breath with them. Then Jack's phone rings. "Officer Thu." Jack answers immediately. "Officer." Officer Thu's voice is quick and controlled. "Are you home?" "Yes." "Good, I'm glad. Listen carefully. Do not leave your house unless it's necessary. We believe someone is trying to intimidate your family to slow the investigation." Tu Tien's stomach drops. Jack glances at her. "She got a message last night, and today she was followed on foot near the house." There's a short pause. Officer Thu's tone sharpens. "Keep that message. Screenshot it. Send me the number. Even if it's not registered, patterns matter." Tu Tien grabs her phone with shaking fingers. Jack keeps his voice calm. "We'll send it now." Officer Thu continues. "About the witness. We were trying to relocate him for safety. He left his home, and then his phone went offline at the exact same time. That's not normal. We're treating it as a priority case." Tu Tien closes her eyes for a moment. "Missing. Phone offline." The words make the world feel smaller. Jack asks, "Do you have the arson suspects?" "We've narrowed the area," Officer Thu says. "But they're moving. If they leave town, it becomes harder. I need you to stay reachable, and I need you to remember anything unusual around your company, the construction site, your route home.
Any unfamiliar faces, any odd calls. Jack's mind flickers. The warehouse fire, the sudden resignations, the strange tension at the site. Things he tried to push aside because he was exhausted. "I'll write everything down," he says. "One more thing," Officer Thu adds. "If anyone contacts you demanding money or trying to arrange a meeting, you don't go alone. You call me immediately. Understood?" Jack's throat tightens. "Understood." The call ends, leaving the house quiet, except for Anna's soft breathing. Tu Tien looks at Jack. "So it's real?" Jack nods. "It's real, and it's connected." He walks toward the window and stops short, choosing a safer angle. He pulls a tiny gap in the curtain and scans the yard, the gate, the road. The empty stillness doesn't comfort him. It feels like someone is waiting for the moment they won't be seen. Jack turns back. From now on, when I'm not home, you don't go out alone. Tu Tien's reflex is to protest. She has chores, she has a child, she has a life that depends on walking places. But she looks at Anna's small hands gripping Jack's shirt, and her pride collapses into reality. "Okay," she whispers. "We'll ask Mother Loy and Uncle Dung to come stay tonight," Jack says, "and we'll adjust everything. If you need something, we find a way. We don't pretend this is normal anymore." Tu Tien nods, but her eyes sting. "I hate that we have to live like this." Jack's expression softens. "So do I." He watches Anna for a second, her cheeks warm, her eyes bright, her body relaxed because she doesn't understand threats yet. Jack swallows hard and makes himself move, step by step, into action. He checks the locks, the back door, the windows, the gate latch, not frantic, methodical. Tu Tien opens the anonymous message again, her thumb hovering. Jack sees it. "Send it." She screenshots the text and forwards the number to Officer Tu. It feels like dropping a stone into deep water, necessary but heavy. Jack exhales. Good. Then his phone buzzes again, a new message, unknown number. Jack opens it, and the muscles in his face tighten instantly. Tu Tien notices. "What is it?" Jack hesitates, only for a second, then decides hiding things is exactly what fear wants. He turns the screen toward her. The message is short, cold, and direct. "If you want peace, stop the police." Tu Tien's hand goes to her mouth. Her whole body chills as if the winter air has slipped under her skin. Jack locks his phone, sets it down, and steps closer until he's right in front of her. "We're not stopping," he says quietly. Tu Tien's eyes fill, but she keeps her voice low so Anna won't sense the panic. "What if they come here?" Jack looks at the door, then back at Tu Tien. "Then we don't face it alone. We do what Officer Thu said. We stay inside. We call for help. We keep each other close." Anna reaches up for Tu Tien again, wanting both parents. Jack crouches so Anna can touch Tu Tien's hand while still in his arms, and the three of them form a small circle in the middle of the room, tight, steady, breathing together. Outside, the fields stay quiet, the road stays empty, but inside the house, the air has changed, because now they know someone is watching their life like a lever, ready to pull it at the worst moment. And Jack, holding his daughter and looking at his wife, makes a promise without saying it out loud. Whatever comes next, they will not be separated by fear again. Late at night, Jack reviews the construction documents while Officer Thu calls with urgent news. Police have narrowed the arson case to 2 suspects who are trying to slip out of town. At home, Tu Tien stays with 15-month-old Anna, keeping the house calm until an anonymous message flashes on her phone. "If you want Jack safe, stay out of the investigation." She panics but hides it, not wanting to distract him. The next morning, Tu Tien walks to the alley entrance to buy something for Anna and notices footsteps matching hers. She forces herself to act normal, turns back, and hurries home, locking the door and calling Jack. Jack races his car back, but on the road he receives another shock. A key witness has suddenly disappeared. With dawn fading, the family's fragile peace cracks and danger feels close again.